I'm joined now by Nick Oliver from NAI Harcourts, and we're going to talk about what's hot and what's not from a commercial side of things. Nick, welcome.
Thanks very much.
How are things playing out from a commercial side of things, from a sales and leasing perspective around the state?
Yeah, well, thanks for having us on. In Launceston at the moment, it's really interesting the way that COVID's unpacked, looking like people are wanting to do things. We're seeing a lot of new business people come out and make a change and want to get into the commercial space.
Now tell us about the capital. How's that going in terms of the commercial side down in Hobart?
In Hobart, we're hearing that there's a lot of owner-occupier interest. Some sectors are quite strong. The construction sector is probably the standout. And again, in retail, a lot of food retailer interest.
Okay, now we're standing here at Inveresk. Obviously, lots of building work underway ahead of the university's relocation from Mowbray down here to Inveresk. How big is that as far as a boost for the area, as far as you're seeing?
Well, certainly for confidence for investors, I mean, it's going to make a big difference to Launceston, and we believe in the central city as well. Traditionally, retail in the centre of the city, it needs to push on a little bit and be refreshed, and for that it needs new and fresh people coming in. And we feel like the uni and the interaction, the lifestyle here, it's really going to make a big difference.
CBDs have been struggling for the last few years now. How do you see those areas picking up, and what needs to be done by investors or businesses or governments or councils to actually ensure that we can see those cities and CBDs becoming more vibrant again?
There's a couple of things. Probably the new people coming in with fresh ideas and making the spaces fresh, a fresh format perhaps for the retail, and being able to work in both your sort of online presence with a physical presence. Having more people in the CBD gives it a buzz, so it's going to work well.
And you've mentioned that a lot of businesses are trying to invest at the moment. I always say that, diamonds are formed when the pressure is greatest. So COVID, what a time to be investing in businesses. What sectors are you seeing people really start to push into? Yeah,
certainly construction. IT is a big one. Everybody's realised, their reliance on it and the way they can use it. People have been using different tools, Zoom meetings and all those other things, which before were just an idea for people, but now they're integrating them in what they're doing on a day-to-day basis. And we know even from the office perspective, people are doing some work at home, some work in the office, taking meetings in cafes and those sorts of things, which is really all positive things to see. And
landlords have had to be pretty good as well over this journey recently. How expensive is it to get into really good prime office space, and is that going to be something that is deemed imperative by businesses in the future?
So I think there's been a little bit of thinking by organisations about how they're going to work in the future. During this COVID period, there's been some organisations that have needed extra space, basically for the social distancing, but also the way that they work. But moving into the future, I think people have just had a really hard think about what operations need to be in the office and what operations are out in the field. And I think we're all going to start feeling really old once all these new young university students hit the city. The greater areas of Inveresk and the outer lying areas, they're going to benefit from that as well, aren't they? Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, we're already seeing it. It feels to us from an inquiry perspective that construction is just going bananas in Launceston at the moment, which is great to see. And all that confidence and vibrancy, it's a great city to be in, and I think it'll just improve. And just finally, hotel development. We've had the Verge Hotel open recently. I know there's a lot of construction going on for Hobart CBD hotel space. Finally, once we do get some travellers back into the state, how important is that to see that those construction projects are still going ahead and that investment is still happening and for confidence levels? Listen, it's imperative. I mean, I think all the businesses around Launceston and in Tasmania, they see those as beacons, because what happens is the hotel gets developed and then the entire precinct gets a boost. So, it's really great to see. We're getting investor inquiry already, although it's frustrated that they can't get down here, that, Tassie's come through well, you've got a great lifestyle down here, and it's going to be a good place to invest in the future. So invest now, not later, otherwise you'll be paying more later. Indeed, the market's going to move. Yeah, excellent. It's good to see. Thank you for joining us, Nick. Thank you.